Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, race fans, wherever you are in the world. It is Wednesday. You know what that means. Time for another race here at the International Sim Racing Series for the 2026 summer season. We are here at the Temple of Speed, the Autodromo Nazionale Monza in Italy. So we get a word from our admin today. Qualifying has been delayed by 5 minutes. That is in 10 minutes time. Was that 5 minutes? No, very much delayed by, what was that, half an hour? Anyway, as I said, we are here for round 4 of the 2026 summer season. Last time out, we were at the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi. Great race last time out. A lot of incidents, a lot of crashes, a lot of spins, and a pretty close finish between all of our cars, all with never mind. Oh, and you can see even before qualifying has started, we already have a little bit of drama. But qualifying will start as scheduled in about 3 minutes time. Unfortunately, today we are missing our normal admin Dokuno. Fortunately, he will not be taking part today. He has been replaced by Fabio. He is our current reigning 3-time back-to-back-to-back champion. He will be taking Dokuno's place today as admin and just as a driver. And see what he can do comparative to today's field. I race with him as an endurance team on Le Mans Ultimate. He is rapid, let me tell you. He's been rapid in this series ever, I think, longer than I have been even driving in it. So we'll see how he stacks up with today's grid. As we come down to the final 2 minutes of this pre-quali practice session, let me give another rundown of the rules for anyone who hasn't watched yet, or anyone who just needs a refresher. International Sim Racing Series runs every Wednesday on Gran Turismo 7. Server opens at 19:45 hours Central European Time. Drivers have 15 minutes to join and practice, get themselves comfortable with the track and car configuration. Exactly 200 hours. Qualifying session begins. Drivers have 20 minutes to get the fastest lap times in. Fastest lap time sets the grid for the 180 kilometer-ish race. Of course, not every track will perfectly line up to 180 kilometers. We run to about somewhere around there. Drivers are required to make at least one compulsory pit stop, switching between the softs and the mediums or vice versa, as well as taking as much fuel as needed to complete the race. Typically we see about a 2-stop for every race we run. Of course, that depends on the track and how hard it is on everyone's tires. So you see we just got the 1-minute warning from our stand-in admin today. Don't believe any inclement weather is forecast to be hitting Monza, Italy today, so we should have plenty of dry green flag running. As we head to start qualifying, let's take a look at our current championship standings. These can be found on the SimGrid. You could also join the series on the simgrid.com/International Sim Racing Series. You can join our Wednesday standard leagues, or you can join our Saturday Endurance League. That takes place every couple of Saturdays between, I believe it started just this past weekend, with Hypercars and GT3 multi-class racing. No plans yet as to broadcast those races, however, maybe in the future could be a possibility. Anyway, as qualifying is about to begin, we have Rocket Bunny. I will read the names off as they appear. Oh, okay then. I will read the names off as they appear on the sim grid. We have Rocket Bunny in P1, currently sitting at 63 points. We have our main admin Dakuno in second at 54, Moltmax at 40, Deltone at 40 as well, tied for third. We have Intensivo sitting in 31, Quem_S, who has unfortunately been disqualified from the championship at 27 points, Azteca 26 points, Rasta 21, Ross Alden 20 points, Shadowburst 19 points, rounding out the top 10, and then we have in P11 Snake Plissken at 11 points. The remainder of the standings again can be found on the SimGrid. Filling out with Adam Bernardi in his Mercedes AMG. First car out was Deltone in his Nexus Porsche. And of course, Fabio was actually a full-time driver for Nexus last season. However, obviously with his retirement from a full-time seat, he will no longer be racing under the Nexus flag. He will instead be racing as a solo one-off driver every once in a while, in the event something like Delkuno cannot be present. Of course, Fabio has been replaced by the sole American in this series, besides me, of course, Snake Plissken. Fortunately, Nexus has not been running that brilliantly as of late. Of course, Deltone is currently sitting P4 in the drivers, but not the best results in rounds, 2 and 3. Spun out of the lead on lap 2 in Suzuka, and just dealing with a lot of incidents last time out in Abu Dhabi. And that has been reflecting in the current standings. Competition Racing currently sitting on top of the roster at 54 points, with BWT currently sitting at 53, and then Nexus and P3 at 51 points. However, I don't believe any of the BWT Porsches are here. They are not. So Nexus will definitely be able to jump that team in the standings. You see Deltone with a big slide through the second chicane. Moving through Lesmo 1, using all the track on the exit and maybe leaving a little bit more, dipping a wheel or two into the gravel and grass. Through Lesmo 2, you need a perfect exit out of the second Lesmo as you see someone stationary in Variante Segunda. It's Snake Plissken, sitting stationary in the gravel, getting going again, almost cutting in front of one of the other Porsches. As you need a brilliant exit out of both Lesmo 2 and out of Ascari, as they both lead to long straights. I mean, Monza is mainly just made up entirely of straights with a couple of corners in between. You see Deltone's going to cut the beam to set our first time on the board at 149.799. It's going to be followed to the line by Rasta, setting a 153.1. And Adam Bernardi at a 150.3, so doing about half a second clear of any time so far. We'll see what Snake Plissken can say. If we see an auto-driving car on the racing line. Snake Plissken's going to cross the line with a 2.19.0. Obviously, he had that stop in Variante Segunda. This will be his first actual push stop. Never mind, he's on auto drive. As we see a first-time driver in any of the races today, with the French driver Gabachoy sitting at a 2-minute 2.198, 12.4 seconds off of the current provisional pole time. We also have a couple more new drivers. We have a couple of check-ins. Crashman and CCR Merrick. Oh no, Merrick. We know Merrick. I believe he has been racing with us before. Him deciding to go with the Porsche and a very, I don't want to say bland, but looks to be only one decal on that blue and yellow Ferrari. Kind of like it though. And it's the only Ferrari I believe we have racing in this series, besides Intensivo, who does not appear to be racing with us today. Anyway, Monza, 5.793 kilometers, 11 corners that our GT3 drivers will have to negotiate today. We are currently 7 minutes in to our qualifying session here for the International Sim Racing Series Monza 180. Take a look in with Fabio. Fabio currently sitting in P5 with a 150.7, about just under a second off of the current one-lap pace set by his fellow countryman and old teammate. Fabio actually going with an old livery for the Nexus sister team from last season, Apex Racing. is currently just set the fastest Sector 1 time as of yet. Here is about the time where you'd see drivers start diving into the pit lane and take on a fresh set of soft tires with a little less weight from fuel and fresh softs. With the track gripping in as well. Definitely going to see, maybe not brilliantly faster lap times, but definitely slightly faster than what drivers are currently doing as of right now. Deltone actually setting a lap time slightly faster than his original provisional pole time. However, Deltone again with the fastest now second sector as well. Can he put that all together in the culmination with Sector 3 as to find about a second to see he was in auto drive for a second? Up to the line, is it gonna be a snagged provisional pole? It is! We saw LCSRG snag it for just a quick second, and then Fabio going almost 3/10 faster. You see, Adam has reset back to the pit lane, actually. I wouldn't necessarily agree with doing that. Well, it is faster, as we see Deltone with a time penalty. Is that for cutting the line? No. Interesting. As we see Alden Pratama going with the fastest Sector 1 time of the day. Frost moves are cutting the chicane a little bit, going to make contact with Pratama. A little bit of contact in qualifying, not what you're looking for on a hot lap after just setting the fastest Sector 1 time. Yeah, I say I wouldn't really reset to the pit lane, as yes, it's quicker, but you are resetting your fuel. So you will still be heavy. Oh, I believe that was Deltone. Someone was in the gravel right there. Someone is facing the wrong way. Who is it? It's Faris Rumser. Sitting on the the third apex of Ascari. He's gonna have Rasta right behind him. He's gonna have to get out of the way, or not. That's fine. Sure, there should be no issue with that. As we see our previous race winner, the LCS SR car of G, is reset to the pit lane. A whole gaggle of cars coming down towards turn 1. Whoa! And we all are aware how dangerous turn 1 in Monza can be. as we've seen in, I'm sure we've all seen in plenty of sim racing, but also real life. Not too long ago, if any people watched the GT World Challenge Europe race here a few weeks ago, it was a pileup in Monza Turn 1. Fabio actually being in attendance IRL for that race, seeing it firsthand. Now, the crashing and damage model in Gran Turismo 7 isn't fantastic in terms of its realism and how much it can affect a race, but it's nice that it's not as strict as other damage models across other sims. So there's competitive ghosting, stuff like that. So say if one person misses the breaking point, spins someone else out, it's not really going to affect a whole lot of people. And of course, this game is not the most consistent when it comes to things such as that. See, Fabio still with the current provisional pole time at a 149.428. Our reigning race winner, G, at a 149.7. And another 3,000s back is Deltone at a 49.7 as well. We have Alden Pratama at a 49.8. Adam Bernardi at a 50.276, the first of the 1 minute 50s. We have get a better result out of his previous couple of races, sitting at a 150.398. Faris Rumser at a 150.523. Snake Plissken 52.0. Another 500ths back is Marek. We have Rastad at 52.2. Yabachoy at a 52.4, and then Crashman at a 53.4. So we have just about 4.5 minutes remaining until the checkered flag falls on this session. Let's take a look at our currently bottom standing Ferrari as he goes off into the gravel just a little bit on the exit of the second Lesmo. Not going any faster as of right now, and he's going to go deep into Ascari, cut through the gravel, do a little bit of rally. He's going to reset to track. A couple of people starting to improve on their own lap times. As we see those new soft tires everyone's taken get up to temp. We see Crashman's going to dive into the pit lane. Come back in with our provisional pole sitter Deltone. Is lead only being cut down to 1600ths of a second, and Fabio is gonna go faster. Fabio definitely has the pace to be competitive today. I feel like it's a good thing for the rest of our drivers that he is not a full-time driver. Again, as I've said, I raced with him in endurance racing on Le Mans Ultimate, and he is quick, let me tell you. Deltone gonna snag back the provisional pole position with a 49.0. We'll see if Fabio can respond. I believe he's coming into Parabolica right now. He's just on the exit of Ascari. Coming around Parabolica, is Fabio going to be any faster? To the line, cuts the beam. I believe he backed off to do a cooldown. Let's follow him on board for this lap. Hard braking into turn 1 for the first chicane. He has a little bit of sliding, dipping his wheels into the gravel on the exit of turn 1. We have less than a minute until the checker flag falls. This will probably be Fabio's last lap. Or he might get a second one, actually. Coming down around Curva Grande, down, braking at about the 100-meter board. Into the second chicane. You see a barrier on the exit. Coming down towards the first Lesmo, braking at about the edge of that inside barrier. Make sure to adhere to track limits on the exit. Coming into Lesmo 2, braking about the 50-meter board. Again, adhering to track limits. Make sure you get that throttle down smooth for a good exit down towards Ascari. See, he's a little bit down on his time, if you can see the delta on his dashboard. Coming down towards Ascari, again, braking at about the 100-meter board, cutting the first apex. Getting Ascari flat out the entire way through. Going past the penalty line. You can see he's almost 2/10 up, actually, on his delta. Actually, about 3/10. Coming through Parabolica. He goes a little wide on the exit, using as much of the track as he possibly can. Oh, the dashboard lied to us. He was slower. Gonna have another chance at it. See, Deltone's qualifying is over. He has a penalty. I believe Andrea Kearney's hitting with a 2/10 faster, almost 3/10 faster lap time. Is he gonna try and set another one? Checkered flag is out on the Monza 180 qualifying session. Andrea with the fastest sector 2 time. Coming out of Ascari right behind Rossi, he's going to get a little bit of a slipstream coming down towards Parabolica. A nice tight line in the exit, cutting the beam. Gonna be a 148.6 to round out the qualifying session. Deltone is done. We'll see if Fabio can respond. We aren't currently aware of his current lap time progression so far. See Alden Pratama go to P2. As Fabio found about half a second. No, he only found about 23 hundredths. And he was also going to be our last car to cross the line to finish out qualifying. Pretty tight-knit field actually out there today. 3.7 seconds between our pole sitter and the P12 car. I'll check for anything on the weather radar. Nothing has hit the track as of yet. And nothing plans to. Okay, as we wait for the end of the session to finally come to a close. There we are, qualifying has officially concluded. Let's take a look at your grid for the International Sim Racing Series 2026 Summer Season Round 4 here at Monza. See, Andrea is our pole sitter in his Lexus RC at a 148.695. The only person to break into the 48s, followed closely by Alden Pratama in his BMW M6 with a 49.061. We have three Porsches in a row. We have Dalton in his Porsche for Nexus at a 149.0. Our stand-in admin and one-off driver Fabio, current champion, 49.254. Another 1.4 tenths off of that is G with a 49.3. Then we have Adam Bernardi and his Mercedes AMG at a 49.666. Then we have Faraz Ramser at a 50.523. Then we have a newcomer to the season. Rounding out the top 8 is Marek at a 150.669. Second page, we have Rasta in his BMW M6 at a 150.7. Rounding out the top 10, we have Snake Plissken, the second of the two Nexus cars, at a 51.3. Our final Porsche in our newcomer Gabachoy at a 151.4. And then our person at the back, Crashman, in his Ferrari 296 at a 52.4. Race will start in about 2.5 minutes time. Take that time to get yourself a drink, a snack, get comfortable. 32 laps of Monza coming your way in a few minutes time. The race will still be here when you get back. Right, we have the indication from our admin. Race will be starting in less than a minute's time. 32 laps of the Temple of Speed coming your way for the International Sim Racing Series. Andrea on pole, Alan Pratama right alongside. We have our two Italians, Daltone and Fabio, in the first of the two Porsches. A couple of safety warnings from our admin as well. 10 seconds. Here we go. little bit of interesting things happening. Unsure why it has Snake Plissken listed as P1. I believe we're going to need a session restart for this, because this was odd. What happened here? Okay. What is going on? Oh my goodness. We're not counting that as a start, are we? Is that... I think we're gonna need a session restart. Okay. As we have the confirmation from our admin that the session will be restarting. That was interesting. Alright, slight technical malfunction, folks. Give us 1 second, and we will be right back.